Hello, online world. This is Off the Record with Mix and Cheska. Mix Bustos here, going solo right now. Filling in for Cheska Liton Kalaw also. Maraming salamat for joining us here on Off the Record. And Off the Record is, of course, on ABS-CBN Sports. Follow at ABS-CBN Sports on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. And for tonight, pag-uusapan po natin. Pinag-usapan na po natin in our previous episodes, men's basketball, women's volleyball. Pero ngayon po, napapanahon the rise of women's basketball in the Philippines. Actually, matagal ng rise yan. Matagal ng rise ang women's basketball. Kailangan lang mas pag-usapan pa and get to highlight, of course, our young Filipina ballers. And syempre, UAP Season 85 is underway. There are, I believe, in the middle of the first round, in the middle of the first round, it is a tight race all the way. And joining us for this discussion, I'd like to call them women's basketball analysts because they have great experience in the sport and in women's basketball combined. Introducing to you our guests for tonight, walang iba kundi si former Ateneo Lady Eagle attorney Mariana Lopa and the assistant coach of the TNT Tropang Giga, walang iba kundi si Coach Mau Belen. Coach Mau, Mariana, good evening. Good evening ngayon.
Good evening. Good
May
evening,
konting
Mix.
araw ng konti pero evening natin to pinapalabas on ABS-CBN Sports. Hello guys! Pag-usapan natin women's basketball. Okay? Goods. Alright.
Game, game,
G
game.
tayo. G tayo. Game. Alright. So, maganda po talaga na makakuha tayo ng mga credible resource persons to talk about women's basketball. Kasi po, wala tong cooking guys ha. At least si Mariana, kababata ako, we talk about basketball a lot. Sobrang great ang knowledge and expertise ni Mariana sa basketball and syempre lalabas natin yan sa women's basketball. Mariana, I will start with you. NU is at 5-0 right now. What do you think? Bakit sila at 5-0 right now? What makes their team strong?
Well, Mix, NU is NU in women's basketball. It's almost a foregone conclusion that they've been sweeping the tournament for the past 6 years. And I think the reason they stay strong is because meron na sila talagang sistema in terms of recruitment, in terms of the way that they play, in terms of the kinds of players that they get. And right now, they have veterans, holdovers from their winning teams like Camille Clarin, Angel Surada, sila Cacho, matatagal na yan nandyan. And they have international experience that a lot of the teams didn't have during the pandemic. So I think they have that going for them.
All right, Coach Mao, any thoughts on NU? Although new head coach, Coach Aris di maunahan na. Pero what keeps them now? Because currently ngayon at 5-0 sila. What do you
Yeah.
think? Why are they still on top?
Yeah, just to correct the numbers, I think it's 8 years minus 2 years ng pandemic. So they've been
Yeah.
in a winning streak since 2014, I believe. Yeah, Mariana said it all. Plus, Coach Aris is not really new in the program. He's been there with Coach Pat for a long, long time. And he knows how to run the team as much as the void that Coach Pat left when he focuses on the women's basketball in the SBP program. It's just that too much experience, too much high caliber players, players that are very mature in their role, and it just the team chemistry is just amazing. One time I watched them, it's just just coming out from the dugout, the warm ups, and you can feel the energy. Parang hindi pa nagsistart yung game na sa kanila. So I think that's one of the main difference na nakita ko when I watch the women's basketball game.
So ngayon, syempre, kanina nga off-air before doing this episode, admittedly, kapag ang Philippine media, when we talk about women's basketball, I mean, it's always about NU. 100 straight win, no losses, and we sometimes forget na, hey guys, there are 7 other teams in the UAAP. Currently right now they're at 5-0, pero when we talk about that, there's actually, I don't know, I want to be politically correct when it comes to like competition, Mariana. Talagang dumidikit. UST almost
Yes.
beat NU. What is the theme for this season, and what's the competition like sa women's basketball?
I think the theme for this season is really teams are coming for NU, no? I think teams are being built with the thought in mind that they're coming for NU. UST is doing that, LaSalle is doing that, Ateneo and UP are right there. So I think the top 4 or 5 teams more or less are on the same level when it comes to skills. Some just have advantages in terms of experience, years together, but schools are building teams keeping NU in mind. So I think this is the year that one of them is really gonna try and go get and stop NU streak. Yeah.
From a coach's perspective, Coach Mao, when you go up against teams na lots of experience, alam mo alam mo iba yung vibe, Coach Mao Kapag yung veteranong team, pag yung veteranong team wala hindi pa nagigame, parang alam mo sila na yung panalo, 'di ba? Pero that's not the case. I mean, we don't want it to be the case like that, 'di ba? Just for of course conversation's sake. How do you beat teams like that?
Um, I mean, I don't want to say it's almost impossible because in basketball, everything's possible. Bilog ang bola, ika nga natin, di ba? And yeah, I'm looking at the scorecard right now. NU just won against UST by 3 points. So, dun pa lang, di mo na pwedeng sabihin na imposible. But, how do you prepare for teams like that? I think the team should be more excited to go up against them and not have that mentality na, oh, matatalo na kami nito, hindi pa to natatalo. So, I think that's the mindset that UST had nung nilaro nila yung NU. Just one possession at a time, one quarter at a time. Let's boil down to the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter, and if we are close to NU, then we have a chance. So parang for me, if I'm coaching in any of the teams, just gonna try and break it down to little task, little task. Kasi ang hirap isipin na, oy, kami yung tatapos nung 101 winning streak nila. That's really a lot to put in mind. So, really breaking down to small parts and everyone in the team having that responsibility to contain each and every players of NU kung sino man itatapat sa kanila.
Pag pinag-usapan naman natin, Attorney Mariana, ang LaSalle at UST, kasi silang pangalawa ngayon sa team standings at 4-1. Ano yung meron sa team nila? Sino yung mga key players and why do they have 4 wins each?
Yeah. I think two very different teams, no? UST is, of course, led by Coach Heidi Ong. Matagal na yan sa women, si Coach Heidi. So, si Coach Heidi is unfazed by anyone. Kahit harapin niya yung 100 plus wins ng NU, Coach Heidi thinks she can beat anyone. And I think her team is led by Taki Takatak, one of the best guards in the UAAP now, averaging in double figures, and is really the commander, the court general for that team. Then they have a lot of new players. No? They have transferees from Enderan, which Coach Heidi is also handling. So, and they have a lot of good shooters. So that's UST strength. Sorry, LaSalle. I think their strength is that they have a strong veteran presence. They have a lot of holdovers from pre-pandemic teams. They have sila Marga Jimenez, Joe Arciga, and then their foreign student athlete, whose name escapes me right now, is also very dominant in the paint. So, kumbaga, in terms of pieza, kompleto pareho yung UST and yung LaSalle. And I think they're both also very good pressing teams. If you know Coach Cholo and Coach Heidi, talagang strong pressing teams yan. And I think if there's any Waterloo in the game of NU, it might be that. So maybe that's why UST and LaSalle are there 2 and 3. And I think that's their formula for success.
Isa sa mga top players na mention na nga ni Attorney Mariana yung mga key players ng LaSalle and UST. Pero ang malupit, nag-trending pa nga to sa Twitter nung Sunday Ateneo nag-trending by the big by the big woman. Tall big woman, 'di ba? Di big man, 'di ba? Big woman. Casey De La Rosa, 30 points, 20 rebounds and 7 blocks. Coach Mao, you're mind blown. Do we see that often in women's basketball? And what is your reaction to that performance? Paano na yung nagawa? Paano ba yung naging tema ng game? And ba't naging ganun yung stat line?
Not just in women's basketball. You rarely see that in basketball in general. It's I mean, in PBA, you would only see those numbers in import conferences by the import. not I mean, Junmar can get 15 and 18 in any given night, but 30 and 20, like, I don't know. Nung
Si
nakita ko yun
Casey
sa,
hindi import yun. Hindi
I
import yun.
know,
Pinay
Homegrown,
yun.
homegrown.
foreign athlete, I know. Sa apelido pa lang, Pinoy na eh. Nung nakita ko yan nung Sunday, buo na yung araw ko. Talaga, promise. I mean, it's amazing. It's a very dominant player. And watching Ateneo nung mga una, because us in TNT, we practice in Ateneo. So right after they practice, we practice. So minsan pag maaga ako, no, attorney, pag maaga ako minsan. Uh, pag maaga ako minsan, I watch their practice, and Bakon is a good friend of mine. So I watch their practice, I talk to him after. And at the beginning, he told me na parang siyempre bago pa lang, kakabalik pa lang ng UAAP, we're just still trying to build the chemistry, find the roles of each players. But I think after 5 games, Ateneo is a team to really look into. I mean, talking about dark horses on the final fours, and sino yung sasabit sa jeep sa huling
Oo,
few games ng elimination. I
correct.
believe Ateneo has a big shot with this Casey De La Rosa rising from games after. I mean, you have how many games? 14 games in an elimination. After fifth game, nagpo-post ka ng ganitong monster numbers. Can't wait to see more.
Kumbaga on the rise. Yung their 2-3 record does not speak for
Yeah.
their performance or what their performance will be. Mariana, I'll ask more. You were a former Lady Eagle.
My
Ano
biased
bang
opinion,
brand?
you mean?
Ano ba ang brand ng Lady Eagles basketball?
I think, for the longest time, Lady Eagles basketball has really been not entering into the Final Four, not making it. But this year, I think the brand of Lady Eagles basketball is really whatever their leaders make it. And by their leaders, I mean Jazz Hoson, Sandra
Yeah.
Villacruz, and of course, Casey as a rookie leader in that team. No? I think Casey doesn't get 30 and 20 if her point guard is not Jazz Hoson. To be honest, I've been watching women's basketball for a very, very long time. Very long time. Alam mo yan, Migs. I've never seen a point guard as big and as good as Jazz. So I think Ateneo will rise and fall on the shoulders of those two, no? And I think if alam niyo yan bilang player, 'di ba? When you realize that you can do something, tapos nagawa na ni Casey na naka 30-20 na siya, and she thinks, "Oh shoot, I can do this every game." And if she does that every game, Ateneo becomes very, very scary.
Yeah, that's like parang turning point eh. Alam
Yes.
mo
Very,
yun, parang
yeah,
ano coach?
very, very unbiased yun yung opinion ni Mariana dun
First
Oh.
local Pinay in the WNBA, Casey.
Oh,
Heard it here
claiming it.
first.
And
Claiming it.
Heard it here first.
napalunok ako nung sinabi mong veteran rookie. Parang, oh shoot,
Oo
she's
nga,
a rookie.
no?
Oh my
She's
She's a
a
God.
rookie.
rookie.
My
Wild.
goodness.
Parang ano yun monumental.
Yeah.
You rarely see rookies posting big numbers all over lahat ng sport yan. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And not to mention, Mariana, si Jazz Hoson at that same game posted Jason Kidd-like numbers, 12, 10, and 10.
Triple double.
Yeah, with a win against
Yes.
UP. Right. Ganon din ba? Okay, sasundot ako. Ang rivalry ba sa women's parang Ateneo UP sa men's? Battle of Katipunan. Ganon din siya
Yes.
kabigat. Okay.
Dahil usually yung mga galing sa high school sa Manila will either go UP, Ateneo, or LaSalle. So really the rivalry there is strong because these players have been playing against each other for a long time. The other teams usually will recruit more from the provinces, from abroad. So yung UP, Ateneo, LaSalle, malalim yung rivalry because of the years that they spent playing against each other.
Ah. Coach Mao, okay, so we've tackled on LaSalle, we've tackled on USTNU and Ateneo. For other teams na mga iba mo pang napanood, top of mind, what comes to your mind? Whether if it's like FEU, UE, Adamson, UP?
Yeah. Yeah. UP is such a young team as well. Nandun sila, those teams na parang kaya eh. Pero parang konti pa para mapapaganon ka every time you watch them. Konti pa. Same with FEU, I believe. Young core, likes running too. And when I get a glimpse of their game, parang sabi ko, give these girls like a few years, 1 year, 1.5 years, and it will be a different ball game. All in all, I think U is rebuilding. They're now, I believe, on the last spot of that 8 teams ranking. But yeah, if we're talking about dark horses, uh, parang ang dami pala, no, na maglaban-laban dun sa fourth spot. Kasi when I look at the results ng mga games, hindi naman sobrang ano eh, FEU, Lasal is a 7-point lead. Uh, I'm looking now at FEU and Adamson, not that much. And if you're talking about NU and Adamson, 34 point lead kasi kaya ng NU like what, 60 point lead, 70 point lead, and we're just in the first round. Everybody, you just give them the benefit of everybody's adjusting, everybody's trying to find the right mix. And I think the real show, the real entertainment will come on the second round. You will see na
Yeah.
na, okay, buo na sila, alam na nila yung right pieces and right armor to wear when going up against each other.
And it's nice because we kind of have a normal schedule compared to the 84 men's. Yung 84 men's, 3 times a week. Para ka nagsa-summer training.
Or parang grade
Pero
school team na maraming sinalihan.
daming liga. If you know, you know. Pero we kind of have a normal schedule. Although the
Yeah.
women's play 4 games sila, and then Saturday, Sunday, medyo tig 2 games.
Yeah.
Ano lang, paka-devil's advocate lang tayo ng konti while we are having fun discussing the parity and the competition. But at the same time, Coach Mao, you mentioned, yung NU, sanay silang nananalo ng tambakan eh. Sa high school, guys, alam nyo to, para silang San Beda sa high school. Pag sa
Mm.
Pasarel, pag sa junior, sa Father Martin, automatic, 50, 60. Swerte na yung 20. Pero ngayon, we're having close games with NU. Is that a cause for concern? If you are in the NU side, Mariana, is that a cause of concern for NU?
To be honest, if I'm NU, I'm not so concerned because they're a veteran team. Veteran leaders. Everybody's been there in the system for a long time. Kahit rookie sila on paper, they've probably been in the NU system for a couple of years before they're put in the lineup. I think the strength of NU is the very reason they won't be afraid. No? They really believe in their system. Actually, if you look at NU stat lines every game, they don't have one player that stands out. They don't have a Jack Animam. They don't have an Afril Bernardino. And everything is more or less balanced across everybody, no? And I think that's why NU's not so worried. And I think they're actually enjoying this competition. I think NU's actually enjoying showing up to games knowing they're not blowing teams out by 30, 40, 50 every game.
All right. So that's a good thought. That's a good thought. Kasi the fire's there. Diba? The fire's there. So it
Yeah.
doesn't mean na humina tayo, lumakas sila, but gives you more motivation in that
Yeah, and
sense.
I can imagine it's boring to show up to games every day knowing you're gonna win by 30, 40 points, di ba?
Yeah. Totoo yun. Totoo yun. Yeah. Gano'ng kalaki, Coach Mau, that a women's basket, transition na tayo, gano'ng kalaki, Coach Mau, na, kasi dati, admittedly, ang napapalabas pa lang, parang juniors din, semis and finals. Actually, finals nga lang eh. Pero ngayon, regular season, kahit on weekends. Now, how big is that, regularly access, and then people are chiming in on the conversation. It's not just an advocacy anymore. Parang this is like coming to life.
Yeah, it's been talking about it since me and Mariana get to know each other ng first na meeting namin, how how far it narating ng women's basketball. We are glad We are happy about it, but there's still a lot of work to do because uh, just this weekend, napag-usapan namin on our forum na parang hindi naman namin kino-compare or hindi naman namin gustong maging men's basketball. We're not really aiming to pag sinabi namin, kailangan din supportahan nyo yung women's basketball and we want a sellout crowd 25,000. Darating tayo doon. But just the opportunity that is given to these girls to show their talent, to para bang ang pinaka masaya sa pakiramdam namin is just uh, watching these girls play basketball on TV like a normal basketball game. Makakasanayan ng Pilipino na every Saturday pagbukas nila ng umaga, ang pangit ng news, lipat ko nga sa sports. Pagtingin nila sa sports, women's basketball yung naglalaro, ganda nito, panoorin ko. Kahit wala kang kakilala, kahit hindi ka galing sa school na yun. I know my basketball every 9 a.m., every 11 a.m. That's you don't even have to name it women's basketball. May basketball akong papanoorin ng Sabado ng umaga kasi wala pa akong gagawin. Mamayang hapon pa yung lakad ko. Those are the wins that we will take as of the moment. But surely we want to see more of this in the coming future.
Mariana, any thoughts you want to add?
Yeah, I think we touched on this a bit before we went online or we went live. No, parang there having the games televised also every weekend allows the casual viewer to follow the story of the season, di ba? So if they so happen to watch the game yesterday at Ateneo UP, dikit, ganyan. Abangan ko nga sa second round, makabawi kaya yung UP. Or I'll watch the next game, chamba lang ba yung Ateneo? Wow, magaling ba talaga yung KC De La Rosa? Ano bang meron sa NU, di ba? And then it sparks curiosity in the watcher's mind. And you're not watching one-off events, di ba? You're not watching a semis game and then next year na ulit yung next mo na mapapanood. And I think this and it also gives the girls a feeling that they're what they're doing is important. It doesn't just matter to the 15 people on the team. It matters to everybody who's watching them, and also gives their families, friends an opportunity to watch them, if not live, then at least on the app, on TV, diba? I think it just shows the state of where the women's game is now and kung san pa tayo papunta. Very exciting times for women's basketball.
Okay. I want this conversation to continue. Normally, when we would ask who's your Final Four prediction, but we'll break it down a bit. End of first round. Yun lang muna. End of first round. Matatalo ba NU? Will they go 7-0? Who will be there more or less in the top 4, Coach Mau? Estimate lang.
Yan, ganyan dapat. Huwag yung final prediction na agad. Mahirap.
Final prediction. Ano lang?
At least may guide tayo, di ba? Patapos na yung first round eh. So may guide ka na.
Malayo pa yun eh. Anything can happen in the second round eh. Malayo pa yun eh.
Yeah, I think NU will stay on top. Whether they lose one game or not, they will still be there. I would like to put UST on my second after the first round. If LaSalle will continue to play the dominance of their power forwards and how they take advantage of their foreign athlete, I think they could stay at number 3. And if, like Mariana said, Ateneo will find that this is the guns that they're waiting for to be loaded. And from here on, the 30-20 of KC De La Rosa, can they back it up? I think they will finish on the 4th spot after first round.
All right. Mariana, para sa'yo?
Yeah, more or less, I think I have the same Final Four prediction, especially because Ateneo already beat UP yesterday.
End of first round. End of first round.
End of first round. Yeah, that's what I have at the end of the first round. Because Ateneo only has, I think, Adamson and UE left to play.
So, kaya.
Kaya. I think they'll hold on to that 4th spot. I think the team now, I think next game of NU is LaSalle. And if LaSalle does everything right, they have a chance to beat NU, but I don't think it's going to happen yet in the first round. But in the second round, I think teams are going to be coming for NU.
All right. So, ganda. So, sana sumali ulit kayo, guys. Coach Mau and Mariana, papunta ng... We'll schedule one again. Hopefully in the future to talk more about women's basketball. And thank you for kumbaga, establishing the landscape kung ano ba ang women's basketball ngayon sa UAAP. Once again, Attorney Mariana Lopa, Coach Mau Belen, talking about UAP Season 85 Women's Basketball. Marami pong salamat. And of course, follow at ABS-CBN Sports, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, Tuesdays and Fridays, ang OTR right here on ABS-CBN Sports. So once again, this has been Off the Record with Mix and Cheska. Thank you guys. See you guys in the next episode. Thank you, Coach. Thank
Thanks,
you, Coach
Migs.
na rin, Coach Mariana. Thank you, thank
Thanks,
you.
Migs.
Thank you.
Thanks.